Most parents are told that teenagers need tighter screen limits. I believe the opposite. After 12 years of coaching teenagers and seeing the best of what they can do, from teenagers who are struggling to get out of bed to teenagers who are being able to compete on the world stage in all kinds of sports, I've got the opposite solution. Instead of just tightening down the screen limits, I think about giving them a direction, about giving them something purposeful and meaningful to move towards before we start clamping down on how much I can do. In this episode, I'm going to take you through exactly what it's like to coach through a teenager who's doing the opposite. Instead of telling him how he has to spend less time on screens, I'm helping him to use them for better. And we're actually helping him set up a business so that he can start learning how to use social media for good and not to be sitting there scrolling and ending up in the manosphere, but doing something meaningful that gives him purpose, that gives him drive, that teaches him how to build confidence and resilience. And from there, watch him thrive through the long term. I'll take you through the scripts and the strategies that I'm using inside the video to help you understand why I say the things I do and how you can do it for your teenager at home as well. This is what a teenager with a bit of belief and a bit of structure actually sounds like. So what we have here is called build, okay? Yeah. So become first. So that's all about like becoming person that you need to be like a business person or entrepreneur first. So like that's like, learning how to have that belief-based self, that growth mindset, being able to be focused on a goal and set goals and things like that. So I think you're doing a lot of it now already, which is awesome because you've been going to the gym regularly. You've been really good with like asking the questions, building like a healthy routine, that kind of stuff. I think that's making a massive difference to becoming the person you need to be to run a business. Does that make sense? Yeah. Understanding kind of what you want to do, right? So like, for example, like what do you want to get out of it? Like, do you want to be able to work with a certain type of person and like, do you want to make money out of it and stuff like that? Or, what would you like to kind of get out of it?
Well, I need the money as well, but I kind of want the experience of owning a business. So when I'm older, I can have a better one. So I have experience with it. So.
Yeah, cool, awesome, sweet. So you want to be able to like kind of start with a small business now, build up the skills, and then kind of go from there?
Yeah, start small, get.
Awesome, good. Sounds great. I love that one. Nice, awesome. So I think that's going to be really important too. So I understand that. So you also want to build for smaller, and then go bigger as you kind of become more mature, right? Awesome, love that. Now identifying like the problem area or what you're going to solve, right? So for you, currently, what have you identified right now as you want to solve? So you mentioned before about like a car wash and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So what's the problem there for the people?
I want to keep people's cars clean.
Yes, love that.
Nice and tidy.
Nice and tidy, clean, awesome, good. All right, and so what kind of problem are people facing when they can't get their car washed, normally?
Like their car gets really dirty, so we're kind of helping them.
Yeah.
Like they could be working from home, they don't have enough time. We come and clean their car. So
awesome.
It saves them fuel, money, time.
Wrapping it all up together. I love it, dude. So awesome. Now the next part is being able to launch imperfectly, okay? So for example, like we all think we have this great, plan and we have to do these things, step by step perfectly. But a lot of the time it just comes down to the fact that we just need to try and get out there and make mistakes and then just give it a go,
Yeah.
So that's kind of the main thing. And then the last one, the D, is debrief and improve. So basically like when you go out there and you spend your first day and you make 0 sales, make 10 sales, what are you getting out of it? What are you learning on the way? So like,
learning from our mistakes would be better. Yeah. So if we hand out posters, no one emails us back, we know that it's not the way to approach people on that. So that's why I'm doing it Facebook.
Okay.
Post things like that.
Okay. Are you putting in the mail, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we did hand them out for 4 people, but that just didn't work.
Yeah, that's right. That's cool.
So that's why we're doing Facebook.
Well, that's why we debrief and improve, right?
Yeah.
So you try different things and see what works best. Love it. Awesome, dude. You're already thinking on your feet. Are you doing, Facebook community posts?
Yeah, we're going to put it on the Burley page and read stuff. So.
Sweet. Awesome. Have you guys kind of created anything on Canva or anything like that? Or?
Yeah, we've made posts and stuff.
Yeah.
We just need to make the Facebook account and post the post. Yeah.
Oh, because you can't post because you're under 16 anyway. So
Yeah, we just need to like get it, make an account.
yeah, perfect. Yeah. Nice.
We're gonna like make a business account.
Yeah. Perfect. I love that. Good. Awesome, dude. Well, so many things you're already doing well. So we're already kind of through these first few steps, and you've already kind of tried these, but now we're just gonna go back to these ones again and keep, launching different way and then improving along the way, which is awesome. So cool. So how many? There's 3 of you guys?
Yeah.
Awesome. Love that. Cool. Do you guys are you guys just like sharing the roles? Like, how are you gonna do it? Because
like we're all just doing.
Yeah.
Wait.
Because my only concern is that like there's 3 of you.
Yeah.
Like if you guys wash a car for $30, very quick car wash. There's 3 of you on the one car, but it's like $10 each, and it's So being able to like whether one person has one car and then.
Yeah, we like if it's one car. If we get one order, we all just do that. But if we get like 3 orders or more, we'll like split it out or something.
Cool.
Yeah.
Have you got 3 sets of equipment?
Or I think I have a pressure washer. I have a pressure washer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we could have 3.
Cool.
You see,
Yeah.
More of the wife and stuff.
Yeah. Bring your own hose, your own detergents, that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Buckets. Yeah. Sweet. Good. How are you going to transport everything around?
Well, first we're gonna like carry it, but then once we get enough money, you can get like e-bike parts. You can put them back on your bike and you can just put it. Yeah.
Perfect. I've seen them before, so that works really well.
As you see in the video, there's a couple of techniques that are used throughout. The first one you have noticed is all about building the identity or the person that he wants to become. And we're not saying that we are waiting to become that person. It's all about acting like we are that person now, and all those good habits, all those good things will respond from that. So if we can build into the identity of our teenager that they already have the things that they're waiting for, we're going to help them already kickstart their dreams, kickstart their journey, and start building that confidence in myself. As long as I just take these actions, I'm already becoming that person. We don't wait till we become something, we are becoming it always. It just always comes back down to Carol Dweck's mindset or growth mindset, is the fact that we aren't waiting to get somewhere first, we are already becoming. And that's why I like to instill in all the teenagers I work with. You would have also noticed throughout Build is I was always making sure that he knew where we're up to. I was always asking questions which were coming back onto what he mentioned. So that way he knew that I was listening, paying attention, I could feel where he was coming from. But I always made sure that we were slightly challenging him in a way to make sure that those beliefs were actually in there. If I would ask, like, do you understand this all the time without actually following up with another question that makes him think about it, it would obviously get lost throughout it because he'd get into this autopilot. We just say, yep, let's just move on because it's uncomfortable to ask these questions. But we can ask questions which are actually directly going to answer what we're looking for, but also stimulating the brain to make sure that we're thinking outside the box and really working on things. That's when it all starts to really come together. The other thing was I never actually crushed any of his ideas. There were so many ideas where it may not have sounded right if you looked at it right in front of you on paper. You'd be like, oh, that doesn't make a whole bunch of sense, or maybe that's a little bit short-sighted, or they don't quite see the deeper thing. I don't like telling him that's a bad idea because it knocks their confidence around a lot. What I like to do is just open and question it. Just ask the question like, oh, so like, at the end there we said we're going to have 3 guys doing cars. And I was like, oh, do you guys have 3 bits of equipment? And he goes, oh, no, actually, we don't have that much stuff. It wasn't me being like, no, we can't do that because you don't have 3 pieces of equipment. It was simply just asking him the question himself. And he goes, oh, actually, we don't have that. Logistically, it's not going to work. And then he solves that problem. If we can get our teenagers to solve the problem themselves, we teach that skill of being able to do it later on. Because if we're spoon feeding them everything, they're not going to be able to have those critical decision-making skills when it comes to them being by themselves in a difficult situation or at a job interview and stuff like that. We need them to be able to do this on the fly themselves, and the only way they can get there is by practicing it. The whole thing comes together in a way where it's all about creating a bit of a resistance in terms of their idea, because Andrew Huberman talks about this concept of the fact that you need resistance to make something stick. If there's no resistance there,
and you just flow through it, you often miss out on what you're actually doing because your brain doesn't really pick up on it. But the more resistance we have throughout these ideas, without offering too much to the fact that they're going to be like, oh my God, this is too hard. But it's more about like encouragement and resistance at the same time coming together. And that's when you're going to get the most out of our teenager. That's what I do in my mentoring every single day. I look at 30 odd kids every single week, going through their ideas, making sure that they are aiming towards their goals and their values. And at the same time, we're building in these skills all together. If I was just going to get in there and try to hype them up every single week, I wouldn't be doing my job. I have to make them feel uncomfortable at times. I have to push them to the next level of themselves. And most importantly, I have to make them feel like what they're doing has a goal to it, has direction, and has real purpose for the long term. Everything they do with me is all about making sure that it's their session. It's really focused on them. And so if you were to take this to your own home, or you're a teacher and you want to take it to school, you really need to make sure that these skills that we're building are going to be meaningful to the person in front of you. At the same time, we're using our knowledge and our own experience of understanding the world that's going to be in front of them. We know what it's like to be 10 years older than them because we are. That's why we're in the position we are. So we need to be able to weave in some of the ideas in general that are going to be there for them in 10 years in the same way, respecting where they're at now. Try not to tell them too much into the future about, when you get to 25, you're going to have a massive relationship issue, or you're going to have a boss who's a real dick. We don't want to create all that kind of stuff, but we want to teach them the skills of being able to communicate their ideas across, being able to control their regulate their emotions to a certain extent. So that way that when they have that boss who's quite mean, or they have that relationship breakdown, or whatever it is, they know how to have the skills to look after themselves. So through this, it doesn't seem like much because we're just having conversation, but there's a lot of things we work on within these kind of 5 minutes, but also the other sessions we have along the way too, where we just kind of like drop in little hints here and there of what we're going through, and build those skills for long term. If you want to make sure your teenager gets the best mentorship in sport, make sure you jump into our free parenting group, which is going to help you to be able to get your kids off the screen and have more family connection. And there's also room there to DM me as well to make sure that we can get your kid into the next mentoring program too. All right, that's all for now.